The most common mistakes we do when we go off stage and we enter our off season, or how to reverse diet, or actually how to make your life easier for next year. Don't get too fat. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Don't go into your off season and put 10 kilos in the first 3 months. This is gonna be straight fat, fat storage you're going to need to cardio off in the next season. When you put too much fat in the beginning of the off season, it's gonna be harder to actually put on muscle and you're not gonna like yourself. So, from the psychological point of stuff, you're gonna feel awful, you're gonna be depressed, you're not gonna want to go and train. Cardio is gonna have to be something that you cannot live without. And trust me, this is a very, very, very big pain in the ass. Having to do cardio every day and feeling like if you skip it, it's gonna get worse. So, what most competitors do, I did that in 2018. When you go in the hotel of your competition, you actually go there with things you want to eat post competition. And this is the first mistake. What do you think is going to happen when your body has been in a caloric deficit in the last at least 4 months, 3 to 4 months, depending on how long your prep was? Especially if you are a girl that puts on weight very, very easily. And as a girl like that, I know that my body is going to be like a sponge. It always is. My problem is never putting on weight or putting on muscle. Doesn't matter when I was natural or when I was on PEDs. I've always had no trouble putting on weight. The problem is getting into condition. So, when I put on a lot of fat in the first months after being on stage, what happens next? I carry this fat throughout my whole off season, feeling awful, having cellulite on my legs. Of course, when the next prep comes, firstly, when I had this fat on my body, I couldn't actually keep up my metabolism and increase my food, which is one of the biggest points of the off season. Not only to put on muscle, but also push food. So when next prep comes, you can actually start from a better place, start from more calories. So when you go lower in the last 3, 4 months of prep, when you're actually on stage, you actually have some decent calories and you're not on 1,200 calories because this is miserable. And trust me, there's no way to not feel hungry when you have 1,200 calories. Doesn't matter if you're bikini or wellness. Okay, if you're from the girls with a very high metabolism and before stage you're on like 3,000 calories, which is very, very rare case, okay, you can have some meals out. But again, don't base, like, if we have to make percentage wise, you can have like 20% off plan, still keep the basis the same. Have your rice, have your potatoes, have your meat, have your oats, your protein. Yes, okay, if you go out with your friends or your family, of course, have a social meal. Eat out. It's not a big problem, but keep that 80 to 20% and also do that until you have real cravings. Don't make your off season a slam, like everything that I want. Cookies, pasta, pizza, whatever I see, I eat. I remember going into the hotel with like M&Ms, like chips, cookies. That's why I don't like the trend when I see girls shooting backstage and they're like, oh, what? A whole day of eating after my competition. This is the easiest way to go off track. And this is the easiest way to have a worse prep next year, not a better one, worse. And listen, I'm not saying that you're not going to put muscle if you eat a bit on the edge. Of course you will. But the suffering you're going to go through in order to put down this fat is worse. It's not something that you want to endure. For me, in my opinion, if you're one of the girls that want to go off rail and put on like 15 kilos and then have the mentality, because Laura Lechapados is like that, and we've seen that. However, this season, she's not doing that. Even she is not doing that. And she's staying on track even in the off season. And she looks better, in my opinion. So even if you have high metabolism and you're better off than most girls, don't put yourself through that. You need to do an hour of cardio at least every day. When I stopped doing that, because in the second thing is like your hormones, they're suffering. You need to understand if you don't have your period while you're prepping, your body's under stress. However, when you throw it some stuff that it hasn't even eaten for the last 6 months, again it's stress. You're telling, oh, I'm eating food, my body is feeling better, I'm gonna get my period back. Yeah, probably you will, because you have a lot more fat. It's still a stressor for your body. So your hormones are all over the place again. But yeah, if you want to compare my case in 2024, when I went off drugs and I stopped the PDs, my hormones were again all over the place. I did my best to reverse, but I put on, I don't know, like 8 to 9 kilos. Of course, I was way, way above what I intended to be post competition. And now in 2025, when I did my natural prep and I didn't lose my cycle, and I think I went down to 1,400 calories in my prep with 1 hour of cardio. Point being, I started at like 72, 73 kilos and I ended up 59 on stage. So for 1 year, I lost 13, 14 kilos. So that's a lot again. But from December, when I was 59 kilos, right now I'm 63 for 7 months. And my calories right now, rest day, are 2,400. On a training day, they're 2,800. So this is the right way to do it. You increase slow and you trust the process and you eat your normal food, you get your hormones back, you lower your cardio, you increase your normal food. I'm going to repeat it again. You don't trust everything that you see. I eat everything that I see. Don't do that. No. Trust recovery, trust your sleep, fix everything, optimize whatever was actually, because during prep, everything is going to suffer. So optimize what was suffering during prep, and you will see the magic. You will eat way more. Like I'm telling you, from 1,400, I have doubled what I was eating, and I'm still leanish. I'm four Yeah, 4 kilos above stage weight, 8 months later. I don't even do cardio. I only have steps. Trust me, this is one of the best advice I can give you. Don't get too fat too fast. Eat your normal food.